Today we have the ancient god of snitching himself, trying to fabricate stories about Truth Teller, a fellow YouTuber being an undercover FBI agent and stuff like that. But that is not all. Mickey Mouse News also told the feds who took out a Roy from old Block. We are going to dive into all of that, but before we do that, let me lay it down for all of you. We're just a hop away from hitting that 10,000 subscriber mark, sitting pretty at 9.9K right now. Big shout out for all the love y'all throwing my way. Now, let's address one of the comments y'all dropped on my vid the other day. This sister asks, how you know so much when you ain't even rep in Chicago? You claim you met some FBG crew in Michigan, but you ain't from there, right? Alright, check it. Much love for your comment, but for safety reasons, I can't be spilling where I'm from. If you know the streets, you know what's up. But I can say this, I spent plenty of time in Chicago, ain't from Michigan, but got family holding it down there. With that out of the way, I have one more thing to say. Some folks think this is a showdown between YouTubers, but that ain't my vibe. This scene's huge, tons of bloggers covering trials or news about gangsters. Some for their kin, some, like myself, as a gig, seeking the truth behind this mess. To me, this ain't no competition. I welcome anyone to grab info from my vids, spread the word far and wide. These cases, news, and stories ain't nobody's property. It's out there in the open, involving some of the most notorious figures of our time. So, like I said, everyone's welcome to take what they need from my vids and put it out there. Let's get the truth out. No ownership here, just spreading facts for the world to see. The Rat King from the underworld pulled another move, aiming his deceitful spears at a blogger known as Truth Teller. I wasn't too familiar with Truth Teller, but when word got out that Mickey Mouse had set his sights on a blogger, I had to scope out this guy. The stunt Trenches news pulled on Truth Teller was straight up bizarre. Looks like Trenches is sweating bullets after outing himself as a snitch, cozying up with the feds for years. Seems like he's desperate to drag others into the murky sewers where the rats rule. Can't vouch for the legitimacy of Trench's news video about Truth Teller. I wasn't up on truth before this drama, but one thing's crystal, Trench's news is a phony, a lying cat who got paid by the feds to do their bidding. Trenches is spinning a tale that Truth Teller did an interview with THF Crack, but behind the scenes, while everyone thought the recording was off, Truth Teller was secretly recording the entire convo. According to Trenches, Crack was joking about Teasy being jealous of Duck's involvement with the mother of Teasy's kids, even discussing money matters where Teasy allegedly got a mere $5,000. The story goes that the feds got a hold of this recording from Truth Teller, containing incriminating statements. Whether this is true or not, that kind of info can put lives at risk. Why mess with people like that? Ain't it bad enough lying to 115,000 subs, claiming to be genuine? Now he's dragging others into this mess with news that could only endanger lives. That's how far folks will go for attention, desperate for that clout. Trenches went further, claiming Truth Teller had to hand over the tape. Trenches even mentioned that Truth Teller contacted him, scared because the feds were after info, seizing all electronics. Trenches seemed to confirm that Truth Teller gave up the tapes. But here's the kicker, Trenches, the deceiver himself, had the gall to warn people to steer clear of Truth Teller, accusing him of setting folks up during interviews. Can you even believe that? Trenches took things to a bizarre level, making strange noises and repeating the story over and over. Then Trenches News went on to call out Truth Teller, urging him to come forward and spill the beans about that story. He also brought up another incident, accusing Truth Teller of stealing perfume and getting busted for it. Now this is the part that got me intrigued enough to check out Truth Teller myself. Trenches News claimed that Truth Teller lacked content because there wasn't much news about FBG Duck case. So, according to Trenches, Truth Teller started fabricating stories, linking Trenches News to Roy's case from old Block. So I went and checked that out and remember the strange noises I mentioned, the ones Trenches News made in his vid? Well, when I was watching Truth Teller spill about Trenches possibly snitching to the feds regarding old Block's Roy, Truth Teller made those exact same noises, like mimicking gunshots. Got me wondering, did Trenches lose it when he saw that vid? Was he caught out in the open, exposed for real? Well, here's the thing, this type of story holds weight because Trenches News himself confessed to working with the feds and providing information for years. He didn't deny it, In fact, he proudly admitted to it and essentially crowned himself as a snitch. Truth Teller didn't take that video lying down. He fired back at Trench's news with his own clip. He mentioned that he wasn't shocked by Trench's actions and deceit, especially after getting caught out as a rat working with the feds for years. Truth Teller went on to say that all Trench's news ever wanted was to become like him, to be a truth teller and whatnot. Truth questioned Trench's motives, suggesting that Trench's might be aiming to get Truth Teller taken out by spreading false information that could potentially lead to harm. Truth Teller laid it out, stating that after Trench's openly confessed to being a snitch and working with the feds in court, he should have anticipated videos probing into his background. Truth emphasized that creating bogus videos filled with false info is not just scary but downright dangerous, revealing Trench's lack of concern for anyone's safety. Truth then declared that he wouldn't be making another video about the situation. He made it clear that he's not interested in going back and forth with Trench's news. Instead, he expressed his well wishes, hoping for the best and that Trench's stays protected. Truth also advised Trench's to halt these perilous actions, pointing out that he never made a video specifically targeting Trench's outside of what Trench's had openly admitted himself. He referred to Trench's as the Spider-Man of hip-hop, emphasizing that he doesn't hold hate towards him, despite Trench's seemingly harboring animosity towards Truth Teller. Then, Truth removed his mask, revealing his true face, a well-known identity within his community. He clarified that he doesn't have any ill intent toward Trench's. Truth acknowledged that Trench's might have thought he was doing the right thing for Duck and aiming to curb violence. However, there's a glaring contradiction. How could Trench's claim to want to stop violence while spreading sensitive info that could potentially lead to people getting killed, regardless of its truthfulness? I used to be one of those individuals who believed every single word that came from Trench's news. Discovering his true nature was deeply disappointing. Whether the story holds any truth or not, sharing such sensitive info on a public platform is dangerous. It's the kind of stuff that can cost lives. Seems like Trench's news has lost his grip on reality. As for Truth Teller, gotta hand it to you, man. You've earned my respect. You handled this situation calmly and keep on spreading facts for the world to see. What's ironic is how he starts his video by urging people to donate clothing, food, and essentials to the homeless, yet he's spreading info that could potentially lead to someone's demise. No, just anyone, but a father who got kids he needs to feed. Who knows who he might target next? Could be me, could be other bloggers. It's a troubling situation. Drop your thoughts in the comments. What's your take on this situation? Do you think that Trench's news have the green light to drop that sensitive info, or did he step way over the line?